My name is Dina Moore. I am a California Conservation Corps graduate, class of 1979. I transferred over from a Corps member to a supervisor in 79 and 80, and I kid you not, something happened, really seriously happened. I was supervising Corps members. I'm so sad that some of my Corps members have passed from cancer, and my children passed away in 84. I have two sons that are severely mentally ill from 81 to 84. They're just mentally ill. But they cried a hepatitis outbreak in 80. They can check the record. The Corps cried hepatitis outbreak. It was not. It was radiation. They said hepatitis outbreak. No, it was definitely radiation. I worked there and I was there 8 hours a day. Then my son I am a California Conservation Corps graduate. My son is a Job Corps graduate. We were on the island. My son has been very severely ill. He's mentally ill. He's very severely ill. He has respiratory. He can't eat anything. And he's been going in and out the hospital. And my other son is just completely mentally ill. I didn't know what was wrong with the children. But now I know it was radiation. I'm very sad. I've been sick since 79, 80. I take lots of medication. I've been sick. I had to go out on disability. I never was able to work again. Now that I hear you all's story, I was there in 79, 80. I knew nothing. They told us nothing. The Navy was active while I was there also. They were still there. I'm a graduate of CC, California Conservation Corps. My son is a graduate of the Job Corps. We have definitely been exposed. We didn't know what was wrong with us. We've been sick for quite a while. I'm just glad somebody said something. Somebody blew the whistle. Now that I know what's been going on with us. But it took 2 children's deaths and 2 mentally ill children. I didn't know what was going on. And I was fussing at my sons, asking, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? They have mental illness, severely mentally ill. And we were the Corps, California Conservation Corps, to help clean up anything that might be contaminated. But no one told us about the contamination on Treasure Island. So I was there training Corps members.
And what year did you start there?
From 79 all the way to 80.
And what did they tell you about cleanup? What were they talking about when they talked about cleanup?
They never mentioned anything on the island. They just made it very clear that we were conservationists, where conservationists go in and help with fires, mudslides, or any kind of disasters. No one ever mentioned radiation on Treasure Island. No one.
Did they know?
Of course they knew. They knew.
How do you know they knew?
Because whatever was going on before we got there, this took place before we were even conservation corps over there. Because the Navy was there first. And they were active while we were over there.
And who was running that program?
The California Conservation Corps, by the state of California.
So they actually sent you into a property that was highly contaminated. And how many people were working there in the conference?
Oh, it was well over 150 people, perhaps. Well over 150 people.
And when you started working there, did you notice any problems? What happened? Did you got concerns about your health and safety?
Well, first thing happened where they had a hepatitis outbreak. And they said people have a problem with hepatitis over there. But it actually wasn't hepatitis. Now that I look back over it. I've had 2 supervisors have passed away from cancer. One just recently passed away about a month ago. One's been gone for a few years. So it wasn't hepatitis. It was the radiation. They didn't tell us. And I don't know where the other Corps members are. I don't know where anybody's at. I knew nothing about the radiation until I began to read up on what was going on Treasure Island. But I didn't just come in contact with it in 79, 80. I have a son that's a Job Corps graduate. So I became in contact with the Treasure Island again in the late 80s because he became a Corps member of the Job Corps. And now my son's been very sick. But the same son, he was born in 1984. Prior to him being born in 1984, he had a brother in 82. They both were born severely premature. They came at 6 and 7 months. 2 pounds, 5 ounces, 3 pounds, 5 ounces. They are miracle babies because the doctors say they don't know how they made it. I did not know because of the radiation I came in contact with when I began to have children, the children became contaminated. I had a child in 83 and 84 that passed away at 5 or 6 months. They thought I was using drugs. I had no contact with drugs. But no one told me it was the radiation from Treasure Island. So I've had a lot of experience with this. And also almost passed away in April 2001 from breast cancer. So I had to have a biopsy. I just came back from another checkup for what you call the breast cancer, getting the mammograms. They had to double check me because they say they saw something again. So I've been going through this since 1979, 80. No one told me about the radiation. I began to read up on it and watch the news report. I said, Now I know why I've had all the trouble. And I've been having trouble since 1979 to 80. I had no idea where it was coming from. I have two sons that are severely mentally ill. And I knew nothing about what was going on. I have a son that can't keep any food down. And he's giving me a lot of trouble. But the poor kid was over there on Treasure Island for at least 2 years in the Job Corps.
And why do you think that these politicians or the managers would allow something like this?
Well, I could only assume that money is more important than human life. I could only assume. I would not do anyone like that. And what makes it bad for me, I am a Conservation Corps graduate. This is the type of stuff we work with. But nobody told us that we were being contaminated. That's the part I don't like. That hurts my feelings really bad. They could at least told us. We could have helped them clean it up. That was our job. We could have put on the suits and helped them clean it up. But no one told us anything. That's not fair. I've been having health problems and didn't know where it was coming from. I've had a lot of problems.
So what officials have you gone to complain about your problems, your health problems?
What I did, I got in contact with Andre and his wife, and they began to explain to me what was going on. I'm just now understanding what the heck was going on. I take lots of medication. I didn't know why I got all this medication. All of the doctor kept saying you're having some type of problem, some type of health problem, some type of mental problems. I had none of those problems before I went to the island. And I've been in this condition since 79, 80. I'm just now finding out what was going on. And my poor children, they have suffered. My two sons have suffered. I had no idea why these had these mental health problems, why I was having these babies so early. And no one told me anything. And I know they saw something. But they thought I was on drugs because they were doing tests, but they weren't telling me. I figured it out. No, I'm not using drugs. The babies are coming early. I have no idea why. My two children passed away, 83 and 84. I've never been the same. I had no idea. I was in contact with radiation. I'm really hurt because I love my children. I love people. All they had to do was tell us. We could have helped them. This is what I was doing. I joined the Conservation Corps to help the environment because I love Mother Earth. I wanted to help my environment. And I did graduate, and I did become a supervisor. So, I was dedicated. But now I'm disappointed that they didn't tell us.
Do you think these people should be criminally prosecuted if they're aware that there was radiation there?
Most definitely because I'm losing my Corps members. One just passed away about a month ago from cancer. He worked with me side by side. My other supervisor died many years ago. She died from cancer. They all were being contaminated and had no idea. I'm very hurt. I'm losing my Corps members. And my son is not in good shape. Both of them are in very, very bad shape. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with why they were moving slow, why they couldn't hear me, why they couldn't respond. And they've been fighting this all this time. One in 81 and one was born in 84, the same year his mother passed away. Their sister passed away in 83. I've been losing children along the way. It's not fair. They should be prosecuted because people are dying. People are dying. What if it was their family members? It's not fair. Yes, they should be prosecuted. I would be the first one to want to prosecute them because they knew better.
Now, you have a new mayor of San Francisco, London Breed. Apparently, they still want to develop that island and build condos on it. What do you think about the idea of building condos on Treasure Island?
It's not fair because if we're telling you that we know radiation is there and they know radiation is there, it's not fair for more people to die unnecessarily because you guys want to make money off condominiums. What you going to do when all the people are dead? They're going to die over there. There will be nobody to live in those condominiums because the radiation will not let them live there. It's contaminated. If they clean it up, admit their wrongdoing, then build condominiums. Don't do it while the radiation is there. It's not fair. Those people deserve to live. We're coming out and we're telling the truth. We're not lying. They give us all a lie detector test. What do you guys want to keep making money for? The people are dying. Is the money more important than our health? What if it was your family members? Will your family members live in those condominiums? That would be my question. Will they go live in the condominiums? Will they like to take the place of the people that's there and leave their homes and go live on Treasure Island? That's the question on the table.
In 2004, they called me off the list. Okay. And they told me that I was being assigned to Treasure Island. So I didn't want to move out there. So after waiting 5 years, he said, either you take that or you get nothing. So I said, okay, I'll take that. So then so they said, well, you're a single adult. We don't have no one bedrooms on Treasure Island, so you're asked out. Okay, but they already put me on the list, so I was determined to get me some housing. I was living in a hotel room for 6 years in the city of San Francisco. And so when they called me off the list, I went down there, and they was assuring me that I would never get an apartment on Treasure Island because I didn't have any children. See, the program of Shelter Plus Care is for single adults that have mental disabilities. It's not for women with children. See, the program is ran backwards here in San Francisco. They prioritize women with children, where they have Section 8 for women with children. So our program was passed by the McKinney Homeless Act. He went to Congress. He said, I'm homeless, and damn that, I want somewhere to stay. So they made Shelter Plus Care. It's for people that are like chronically homeless because they're mentally disabled. And it goes from mentally disabled to mentally retarded. So this program here is the kind of program, they're saying people that are mentally disabled need to be in a sponsor-based program. That's why they all shattered us all out there, okay? You for somebody come out and look at you every day and check on you and see what you're doing, this and that. Because they said we weren't responsible enough to live over here in the mainland. See, they didn't want us in the mainland. Because every city in America, you get your voucher and you find you somewhere else to stay. No one wants to be in a sponsor-based program. But because we're mentally disabled, they sort of like forced us to take this housing, didn't they? Because I had a psychologist and a psychiatrist through the VA. And they knew it was radiation on this island, and they signed me to get a two-bedroom apartment. This is 2004. I needed, because there are 2 and 3 and 4 bedroom apartments on Treasure Island. So I need a 24-hour caregiver. That's how I qualified to get a 2-bedroom. And so the whole time, so I forced them to take me. And when they took me, that's when the harassment started. And then 2 years later, I met her, and they were harassing her. This is for anything about the radiation. But if you said the children run around there, because of that radiation, them kids' brain them mutated. They knocking our windows out of our house. They set things on fire out there. If you said something about it, the landlord, which is Catholic Charities, Roman Catholic Archdiocese, had these black women working there, and they don't like black people, so they let these other kids beat on your kids and slap them and rape them and burn up houses out there and burn up bus stops. And like slapping you as an adult, the kids slap you and run up to the office.
Burn up slides in the park, burn up the park.
And she would say something about it. My nephew, he can't stay with me because my brother was my care provider first. You ever met Charles? You met Charles there. He lived on Treasure Island. He was my care provider. He was my 24-hour caregiver. His son had to move in with us. And this guy robbed him on the school grounds and tried to make an oral copy of him by knife point. And they tried to throw me off the island behind that incident. And then so one day, me and Felita was walking around, and we seen these trucks. And he looked funny. Some trucks, he looked out of place. It was Shaw.
Yeah.
Shaw Infrastructure. And I never seen it before, Shaw Infrastructure. So, so we nosy. So we're nosy. So we asked him, he said, well, we out here surveying. Then they pass around some notes on people's doors. And they accidentally put them on me and your door, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The note said that we get ready to give you $5,000 to get the hell out of here. So I went to the office and we both asked, are we gonna be able to move? He said, yeah, you're gonna move, but you don't get the $5,000. And then after that, then the harassment started on this radiation, okay? Because the more and more, then I got the tumors on me. And see,
When did the tumor start? How long have you been living there before the tumor started?
Oh, I say, Steve, by 2006, them tumors on me. Yeah, within 2 years, they was, cause you had just met me, huh?
Yeah.
And it was maybe about this big.
Yeah.
On your body?
Yes, on my side here, on my shoulder, it was about this big. You see that? So, and I got one here on my side, this is big. You feel it, you can see it right there. And so I started complaining about being sick. But before that happened, so I had a drawer that was stuck in the drawers, and it couldn't come out. So I pulled it all the way out. And when I pulled it out, there was a lot of old plastic bags behind it. So I grabbed the bags out, It took me about 20 minutes to get all the bags out. And when I pulled all the bags out, I noticed my arm had a bunch of red pimples on it. And the next day, look at my arm. Spider bites, radioactive spiders. Look at the tissue damage in my arm. That's radioactive spiders. Look at the tissue damage in my arm. They bit me, and they were saying, we're gonna throw your ass on the street if you say something. They said, we'll throw you on the street if you say anything. So then Then I started seeing them bumps on my back, and then now I'm starting getting scared. Cause I remember the lady next door had died, huh? She had died when I moved in. And see, there's a law here in California that you know, if someone died in the unit next door to you or in the unit, they gotta let you know. They didn't tell me nothing about that lady dying. And they said that she was sick for a long time. And I have a ground unit. And so I know for sure that one lady died at the 1419 Striped Bass Apartment A. I lived in 1419 Striped Bass Apartment F. That's ground units. Now, Felita, if you go over to Sturgeon Street, which is really close to where Don Wadsworth said the radiation was 1 million times at 1101 Bigelow Court. Now, she had the building at 1406 Sturgeon. She had 3 deaths in that building. She had 1 upstairs that died and 2 downstairs died in the same unit. Then you go to 1404 Sturgeon, which is next door, which is right behind 1101 Bigelow Court too. We had 3 people died there. Then you go down to 1402 Sturgeon. We had 1 person died there, that old man. Then you cross the street to 1401 Sturgeon. We had 1 death downstairs. Then you get to 1403 Sturgeon. Now 1403 Sturgeon had 1 death upstairs. No, 2 deaths upstairs and 1 downstairs. So that's 3 deaths in that building. Then you get to 1405 Sturgeon. We had 2 deaths downstairs in the same unit, and then we had 2 upstairs in the same unit, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 2 people died. Sometimes people died, you know, 1 died, and someone else moved in, they died too. And when they come get them, they wait till it's dark. They wait till it's dark to bring them bodies out. We see them bring them out across the street.
Yeah. They wait till like
They
2
wait
or
till
3
it's
o'clock
in the morning to bring those bodies out. Okay, when they bring them out, then let you know, you don't know what the hell happened to that person. Next thing you know, they clean their unit out.
They disappeared.
Disappear, and so the personal effects. Now, the next block over, we have a friend that should be, and I don't know if he's coming now, but his wife used to walk between the cut by 1101 Bigelow Court. She died of a heart attack. Now, we've had about 3 or 4 people out there that had bypass surgery behind heart attacks. It causes enlarged hearts. It causes your blood pressure to go up. It causes your blood pressure to go down. It causes your teeth to crack. It was all my family members, about 60 people, were contaminated. All of our teeth were cracked. All our teeth are cracked. All our molars are cracked. All here, they're all cracked, and they break at the gum line. We still got the root down in our jawbones. So this is the sort of things that the radiation causes. It causes tooth decay. Now, everybody in my family complained about toothaches. And the reason why me and Felita is really trying, Steve, to get something done, because our family believed that we knew it was radiation out here, and we called over to get contaminated. Because my house should be full of people. I've got 60 family members in 13 years that came over there, and they were contaminated. But they think that we're mean-spirited. They said, you guys knew it was contamination over there, and you called over there, and they all have radiation symptoms. My mom lost both of her kidneys. She's on a dialysis machine, and she got mad at me too, because I didn't know it was radiation over there. But people don't believe that. People believe that you invited over there, to contaminate like the Roman Catholic Archdiocese did. They invited over there to radiation contaminate. That's very mean-spirited. You ever heard of the Tuskegee experiment? Mm-hmm. Now, they knew that was syphilis, not placebo, that's getting on black people. And they wanted to see how long you would live. They tracked you and see your symptoms untreated. The same things on Treasure Island. They want to see how long you live, and they keep track. Because as soon as you move out, they rotate somebody off the list right back into the same apartment. So I'm looking at, Steve. It's not a civil matter anymore. It's a criminal matter.
And John Stewart, how was he involved? Who was John Stewart?
He's the property manager out on Treasure Island, and he gets the HUD money. See, the money that we were on was called Shelter Plus Care. It's a subsidiary of HUD. But the HUD money is what John Stewart gets, like right across the street right there. That's John Stewart right there. The product across the street right there, that's John Stewart. He rents places that contaminate.
Yeah, he does, over there.
He's property manager over contamination. Mm-hmm. So he gets, because he owns all these, he's property manager, all these units around here. And he's involved because we gave him a chance, Steve, to get off the hook. Felita told me it was contaminated, and I ain't paying you no more rent. He said I told him, you know, I ain't paying no more rent, man. This place is contaminated, all the evidence contaminated. It's against Section 1942 of the California Code of Civil Procedure to rent dilapidated buildings. And the buildings had black mold in them. They had all the necessary things of a dilapidated building. They were renting these. And HUD was part of the cover-up. They passed these units every year, knowing the buildings were dilapidated. That's the first thing off, is that you should even pass those buildings. Those buildings were full of black mold. Everybody had black mold. Everybody on Treasure Island has thick, black, toxic mold. I mean, black as our shirts, ruining your closet and your wall, and it's dusty and ruining your clothes. They say, get the hell out and say something about it. So
how did Stewart threaten people? What did he say?
he throw you out the street. He throw the law container on the ground.
Drop it on the ground.
Drop it on the ground. So you've been served. If you know he's gonna serve throwing you in the street. You don't get no due process. So we knew what the ploy was gonna be. Cause I ain't no spring chicken. I've been around the block a couple of times, and I knew because they throwed mine on the ground and illegally evicted me out of my unit. My rent was paid up to the time the sheriff threw me out of my place. And I knew there was something wrong with a system like that, that Judge Kadachi is the reason why people are still on Treasure Island. It's because Judge Kadachi, he is evicting people out there on a bogus lease. Everybody's lease out there is null and void. Everybody's lease is null and void. And he's making you stand up the covenants of your lease, but the lease is null and void because it's based on fraud. They fail to disclose. Anything you fail to disclose material fact to get a financial gain, that's fraud. That's criminal fraud. That's the kind of fraud where you'll wind up in the penitentiary because, see, there's people who died out there, and I have injuries at attempted murder of these tumors. That's from cancer, from me being exposed to high levels of radiation. And everybody's scared of the Navy, Steve. I'm trying to tell you, everybody's scared of the Navy. But they didn't say nothing to us personally. We had to contact them by email. Who's over Treasure Island is Southwest Navy Command, which is on Harbor Road in San Diego. I forgot the captain's name, but he's over this district over here. And so we call his office. You crazy, man. Ain't nobody living on Treasure Island. Seriously. I said, man, the people living there, 3,000 people live. You're a damn lie. So did I get the evidence of our lease? He said, yes. That's a Navy street, striped bass. Then we sent emails about contamination. And then they said, oh yeah, there's people living out there. So we said, man, people are sick out here. So there's about 2014. And we requested them to come test the units. And it was in the Chronicle. Okay. They tested 750 units on Treasure Island. That's because me and my wife was calling. We don't see an island calling. But it made them come test, the units. Everybody's unit was hot. Everybody.
Is that what they told you at the time?
No, they lied. They said some units is hot and some units aren't. Now, how the hell can some be hot, some not? So what happened? So by it being hot, they told them people, they ain't gotta move. It's not dangerous at all. So I knew it was a sham right then. I said it's bullshit. So then the water pipes broke, and when the water pipes broke, Steve, they brought out a portable water truck. Because the pipes stayed broke about 5 days for the earthquake. When the earthquake came, it cracked our water pipes. Then they fixed the water pipes. Then once they fixed the water pipes, I see about 4 months later, the gas line broke.
1206 Mariner
Drive.
Mariner Drive. We're standing outside her door. These guys came in white suits, right? With a truck, looking like something for contamination. Mind you, at this time I smoked the cigarettes. So me and my wife sitting down on the porch smoking. From here to maybe you. The guy had the thing and they was pushing that thing, whatever it was.
Or the Geiger counter.
They dug this deep and pulled a nail out the ground, some kind of screw. Took the screw, put it in a Ziploc baggie, folded it up, and put the bag inside of a safe. Of course, I need to know what that is. What am I standing here and it's contaminated? And ain't nobody telling my family nothing. Because I've been wondering, why all of a sudden I have emphysema, respiratory problems, and I have them bad to this day.
Daughter just gets cancer.
My daughters got cancer, both my daughters. And they 25, 125 and 130. Okay. All this is happening because, to me, Treasure Island.
Yeah.
Now listen to what the man told me that got that out. Cause I'm like, man, he didn't want to tell me. Well, I'm not one to just you can tell me anything. You're gonna tell me what this is or we're gonna have a problem. He said, well, man, I don't want no problem. He said, but I ain't supposed to tell you this. That's radiation. And it's been in this ground since. So I'm saying, so you telling me, y'all rented my wife a place that's gonna kill my family? He said, that's what they did. And he said, I'm not even supposed to tell you this. And right now, my daughter went yesterday and had her chemotherapy, and she's 25 years old.
So what happened when you found out?
So what happened after that procedure, my wife went to complain and got evicted off the island.
Who did you complain to?
To the housing. To our store, whoever the people,
John Stewart is
Yeah.
and charities.
and next thing you know, they started evicting all kind of people for the smallest things.
Yes.
Come on, I mean, my wife moved in 2000. You evict my wife 12 years later because we found the screw that was in her yard, not over in, that was her part of her, you know, in the grass.
In the grass, yeah.
And the man told me, I'm not supposed to tell you none of this.
Who was that man?
I don't know his name. He had on the, you know, he had the,
What, do you know what company that was?
no, he just had the NASA, he had the NASA suit on.
Yeah.
You know, like he was on the moon, man.
So you're living there without any protection.
No.
They're running around in suits.
I'm standing right here
This here,
by radiation.
AOC, I'm telling you, you have one of those letters from the United States Navy.
And somebody, Admiral Knowles from the United States, yeah, from the Marines or
The
Navy, sent me a letter, personally apologized to me about, sorry, we apologize for exposing you to radiation.
And they sent us,
When did you get that letter?
everybody got letters.
All of us got it at the same time.
It's over 120 of them, about everybody in my family.
So they admitted that you were getting.
They admitted that.
Yeah, but see, like, check it right here.
No.
He told us to go to the clinic right here.
And they
Check
say,
it.
and then they say we got to go to these special. Listen to this, to these special places to get checked. But where? The doctor said we got to go through the United States military.
That's what the doctor told
That's
you?
what my doctor told me. I said, well, look, I've been exposed to radiation. My kids, look how I'm breathing. I'm feeling everything got something to do with picking up something. I play basketball. I can't even run from here to down to the bottom of the stairs, and that's going downhill. I have severe respiratory problems. And they put me in a machine, a capsule, and went to doing all the breathing treatment, and now I got emphysema. I have a lung disease now.
I have a heart disease too. I just take medication.
My heart, that might as well put it all in it. And I've been in the hospitalized for my heart.
So what officials did you know were involved in this? I mean, the city of San Francisco was involved in this, wasn't it? They put you there.
They this when Willie Brown was the mayor. They opened it up and let them just move people in there, right? But at the same time, they got people signing waivers about they not responsible for this or that, right? But then they telling us, you give us a backyard, don't grow nothing, don't go back in the yard. This is on the paper. Do not dig in the ground whatsoever. And if you find something, don't touch it. So how you gonna protect my family by putting a tarp up on a fence? But you gonna dig that deep and pull a boat out the ground that you have to put in a plastic bag, wrap it up, suit it up, and put it in a safe.
Now all his
What did you feel like when this was going on?
What did I feel like? My symptoms was I was always tired. I wasn't able to run around his house like I used to. Going up my stairs got to getting to be impossible. And everybody thought, man, you're faking because I've always been in shape. I'm 60 years old. I'm in shape. But my breathing is ruined. But then I'm being told, don't say nothing.
Who's telling you not to say
The guy that picked that thing up, he said, man, remember I said, he said, man, I'm not even supposed to tell you this. Well, you gonna tell me something, or I'm gonna pull your suit off and we both will be exposed to it.
That's right.
Because if you sitting there watching me do it, and we can take yours off. I don't care, call 20th Century Fox, we'll make a movie doing it. And see, they were figuring they was helping San Francisco because of the housing situation by just putting them out there, and we talking to people that's coming out of rehabilitation centers, that's coming from shelters. They ain't looking at the fact 5 years down the road your teeth finna start falling out, your hair gonna fall out, your baby gonna all of a sudden come up with some kind of disease that's gonna wipe them out. I've seen a lot of people die on Treasure Island.
Me too.
I was there for 12 years. And I lost a lot of friends out there on some funny stuff like,
Yeah.
why is Giselle not walking and we just was walking around the corner?
Yeah. She died since you moved that unit, but you moved there.
Yeah.
And so you came there when Willie Brown was there.
My wife came there, and I came couple years later. But we was living on Osborne, but we found that piece of metal on Mariner. But then you got on Osborne, you got these tarps where the wind the tarp supposed to block the wind from coming in. I'm 6'5", man. Come on, I'm taller than the tarp.
You sure are.
So you gonna tell me it just gonna blow right there and stop? I was gonna come on over.
These are the things
In effect.
on Treasure Island. There were side effects.
So a lot of people got messed up, and we got personal letters
Yeah.
from Admiral, whoever he was, from the Navy,
Saying what?
saying I apologize. We aware of the situation. Andre got one of them. They personally wrote me a letter and told me everything what was going on, and we apologized.
Did they compensate you?
No, they ain't did nothing. They just sent us a letter.
That's my mom. She dated father. I want you to call her. We're gonna call people that couldn't make it here. They want to talk to you.
Okay.
This is my granddaughter.
So what kind of justice do you want? What do you want?
I want something done about this because this is affecting my kids. I'm already old. I just need something done. So they kids will wind up being a victim to this stuff.
And you want Treasure Island to be shut down.
If you're gonna move people there, shut that down and clean it up.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're gonna dig 10 feet to get rid of the radiation and replace the dirt.
Were you there when London Breed was in charge? She was appointed by Willie Brown to be.
London Breed is my daughter's best friend.
London Breed getting ready to go to
You
jail.
wanna see some pictures of me and London Breed? I know her personally.
Was she there? She was there?
Do you think she knows about what's
She
going on?
has to know.
Of course she did.
She has to know.
Of course she did.
Everybody rubbing each other's elbows out there. They know what's going on.
They know what's going on.
But she couldn't say nothing.
But her own family were getting cancer.
I understand it, but once again, it's certain things you can say and there's certain things you can only speak on. I've been in San Francisco for 60 years.
Mama?
I watched this turn into, I was born right up the street from here.
And the situation in the neighborhood here, were people contaminated because
you
of
hear me?
Yeah, my son got acute asthma and everything. A lot of people I know,
Mama, do you hear me?
his mysteriously died out here. I mean, they wasn't telling us all of what they was doing right down the street right here. I was here when Alioto was here. Whoever was before him. I was born and raised in San Francisco on North Ridge Road, Double Rock, Treasure Island.
My name is Michael Mid, and I've been living on Treasure Island for 12 years now, me and my daughter. And radiation is definitely going on out there. Like, I was with him when the piece of radiation was found in front of his house, his wife's house. I have touched radiation. personally, I mean, I picked up some radiation. I picked up some screws actually by the water, by where I live, and I picked up some screws. I was fishing one day, and I picked up some screws, and my hands just started burning. I'm like, wow, all I was doing was fishing, trying to find something to make another weight so I can cast out. And I picked up these screws by the rocks, by these houses where the police used to go in and do training. And my hands burnt for so long. I mean, I had to run to the water and like, what the hell is this? Excuse my language, but my hands were burning. Yeah. And come to find out, that's what it was, radiation. Because the screws were just regular screws. When I touched them, my hands were burning. And then my teeth have been falling out.
Your teeth start falling out.
My teeth start falling out.
Yeah.
My bones my bones start breaking. I had what do you call it? Wow. What was that? I had what was
That radiation rat? Or what?
I had a thing on my arm for like a long day.
That brace on your arm?
Yeah, I had
I remember your arm was messed up.
He got brittle bones.
yeah, well, my bones have been breaking. I had a cast on this one. I just came from the hospital today from, well, this was a torn bicep. This one right here was, my ACL was tore. And it's just like, it seems more than a coincidence. It's all my bones just keep just being
So what
fragile.
did they tell you when you started getting sick?
They really don't have an explanation. Like, they're not giving me no kind of explanation. I keep getting these white rashes on my face, which I never had before. And all this stuff started when I picked up those screws. And this was, wow, it had to be like 6, 7 years ago. And I've been nausea, throwing up, losing weight. I wake up sweating when it's cold, no heater on, nothing. No, I'm not, it's freezing outside. And I'm laying there 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm sweating, no cover on me, nothing, I'm sweating. And then I'm just shocked, like, what is this? And, I'm like, wow, just to be able to go pick up some radiation off the ground, that's appalling, that's horrendous kids go around and pick up stuff like that. And like even the place called HUD is breaking their own law. They said they can't rent to anybody on a contaminated site. Right. We've been living there 12 years and they're getting our rent, but that's their own law saying that they can't rent to anybody on a contaminated site, but they're doing it. Right. And they're poisoning us. They have so much radiation out there, they don't even know where to put it, and it's all in the dirt. And it's airborne, and it takes 1,600 years for radiation to go away, and it's not going anywhere. They don't know what to do with it. They have mounds of dirt over there. They know they can't put it anywhere. They're falsifying dirt samples, saying that it's clean, which is not. It's appalling. It's appalling how they're treating people out there because we don't have enough money to get high-powered lawyers to help us, and we have to live out there. They don't have to live out there. We out there. I'm still living out there with my 12-year-old daughter, and she's going through a whole lot, and it's like it's something wrong with her, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know. All I know is I touched them screws, and my fingers started burning, and I'm getting these rashes. My teeth are falling out. My bones are all bristly, and they walk around with hazmat uniforms and stuff, but they telling us it's all right. It's all right.
Walk around with hazmat?
Yeah.
They got the trucks and the vans.
The trucks, vans, everything moving.
Y'all got?
No, we're not supposed to. They're using us like guinea pigs. The children that died out there. This guy died. Little boy died on Mariner. They just went down. He just died out of Michael Mid, and that little boy just like 13, 14-year-old kid just dead.
He just died.
He laid in the bed. They wake him up. He just dead in the bed. And over there on Bayside, the 2 little girls, they caught cancer and they found radiation up under the house.
2 little girls got
2 little girls, they got cancer. A mother named Catherine, remember her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine Lundgren.
Yeah, Catherine. Her children, little girls, got cancer, and they found a bunch of radiation up under her
Are they
house.
still staying up there?
They don't live there anymore. They moved them off and gave them a little money, but still,
Shut 'em up.
shut them up. But all that radiation they're finding it everywhere. They're finding it because they don't even, it wasn't contained, and it moves around in the dirt. When it's earthquake, it moves. It's just, I mean, they have it. It was a landfill. They filled it full of radiation, and they were hiding it, doing tests and stuff like that. And it's appalling to put people right there where it's going to cause cancer. It's going.
We just buried my cousin Steve Brown. He lived at 1345 Revere.
I know, yes, ma'am.
Been here at Queen. We buried her some years ago. And see, this is what people are looking at Treasure Island. They're not looking at Hunters Point, Double Rock. My brother worked on the nuclear sub. They tied up the nuclear sub that came from Vietnam. Him and my nephew that came in the 70s that came from Vietnam. There was a nuclear sub, and they tied it up right there in the shipyard.
On the other side of the
and they worked on it overnight and sent it back out under the Golden Gate Bridge. But see, what people is looking at, it's not just Treasure Island. See, y'all, listen, you can stand right here and see across the bay. The same water that come from Hunters Point that goes to Treasure Island goes to Oakland, goes to Richmond, goes down to San Mateo, goes to Alameda, the same water. So this is a lot bigger than just Hunters Point, but we just fighting for Hunters Point and Treasure Island because that's immediately. But I've been talking to people in Oakland whose family died from cancer. I lived in West Oakland. I used to walk down to the bay.
Yeah.
I used to walk down to the bay when I was 8 and 9 years old, 6 and 7. You know, I was a bad little bastard. But then we used to walk down to the bay. That was before I moved to Hunters Point in 1959 at 12. But I acquired asthma in West Oakland. And I've been had it all my life. I got friends from West Oakland who died from cancer.
Okay.
They don't even know nothing about it. They see the system, the government is so shrewd that now they've been busted about Hunters Point.
Yes.
So they're not mentioning how, turn your bathtub on and see how the water flows. See how the water flows. When that water come in up under the Golden Gate, it washes that radioactive water all through the Bay Area.
Yeah, it does.
Right through that like butter.
And so this is bigger than just us. But let's deal with this now. But we can't just see, TI ain't big enough for them to want to respond. We got to do something else. We got to come together. See, they know, the government know that if they can divide us, they can beat us. But they can't beat us if we're united. They can't beat us if we're united. I'm telling you what I know. I shot it out with the National Guard. I shot it out with the San Francisco Police. I shot it out with the National Guard on 3rd and Oakdale during the riots. I shot it out with the police and on Middle Point.
You know, Poe Man.
Poe Man, yeah. I was raised with Poe Man. Poe Man, Edgar Allen, he with Bishop Bob right now, right behind where I live. So all these little places, and see, it's the same thing.
Rebuild Treasure Island. We're gonna give you 10,000, you 10,000, your kids 5,000, and we're gonna move you off.
Yes.
This is before this radiation came up.
It sure did.
So they had already knew about what was going on,
They did.
right? Until people started getting sick. And somebody over there in City Hall dropped the ball.
Yeah, it did.
Because here it is. Why you want to offer me? What was it? 10,000?
Yeah, in lieu payment 10,000.
In other words,
Potato chip money.
in other words, my whole entire family. We talking about 3 kids, me and my wife. We were gonna be offered. We was gonna get $50,000 to move,
Yeah.
but don't say nothing.
Right.
When was this?
This is like
2011.
when did I get shot? This no. This way before then.
Okay. They all
This
heard
is
2011.
This is when they first started. This is when they
I
first
remember
started
that.
talking about redeveloping,
Treasure Island.
because they were supposed to make 2 places like the Geneva Towers. Remember that?
They
That
were
was-
saying that
was a cover-up.
redevelopment was finna buy, San Francisco was finna buy Treasure Island from the government.
and they was gonna turn it into a resort. And here it is. I'm on low income, and you finna offer me $50,000 move?
And
Why
you
you just-
gonna grab that. That's what
why,
they taking.
why wouldn't you just move me? Okay, somehow the ball dropped. Then all of a sudden, here come all these, because what's that street the bus run on, Andre?
Gateview.
Gateview.
You got,
Gateview.
Yeah, Gateview.
Gateview and Bayside. All of a sudden, this one area just keeps sinking.
yeah, it does.
And here they come with them suits.
Yeah.
But nobody paying attention to it.
Hazmat suits.
That's right.
Exactly, with the whole thing on.
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
with the van, with the safes in it, because you gotta put it in a safe with cement around it
Right.
to secure it. Dude told me that. All of a sudden, we start seeing these people. Then the ball got dropped, and next thing you know, they got to talk about radiation. But mind you, I was always asking my wife, why I gotta bring something like the grow stuff. I'm from the South, man. I'm raised like that. We wasn't allowed to cut our grass.
Nope.
The kids can't play in it,
Nope.
but you got me living in it.
Yes.
Mariner Drive, I stayed in.
And both of your daughters right now have.
Both my daughters is 25 and 30 with cancer right now.
What kind of cancer do you know?
Breast cancer.
That's prevalent.
My niece died, my family died in the 60s and 70s.
My mama
From cancer,
my
from
mama
menopause.
stayed right across the street from here. I was born in 1958 right across the street.
In Hunters Point.
Yeah,
The right department.
right across the street, right across the street.
Right.
When all this shit was open back here.
Yeah.
My mama died in 1966 from cancer.
May I ask
My
you-
mama passed that gene on to me.
Yes.
And in turn, living on Treasure Island, my daughters got it.
Yeah.
I moved to Treasure Island in September 2000. I left Treasure Island 2010.
16, oh,
So you're there 10 years.
I was there 10 years and my wife moved 2013.
yes, you sure did.
They put her off. Because we seen that man pull that thing up and I made her call the office.
Yeah, I remember that.
Gave a court date that was the day before. So when she got to the courthouse, wait, we had your court yesterday.
So you're saying that when your wife started bringing up the fact that it was contaminated, they evicted her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the one initiated it.
Yeah.
When they found
Because
out
when
she
dude
had
found that thing, look, let me keep it real with you, man. I've been to penitentiary. I'm with the shit. I'm just not with it no more. But when it comes to my kids, I'm with it, man. Okay?
Hey.
You ain't finna move shit right now. Stop your truck, call the police.
Yeah.
Call the fire department, I don't care. But you need to call somebody to witness what I'm seeing.
Right.
Or don't touch the machine, man. I'm gonna get aggressive.
Right.
Oh, well, man, and that's when he said, man, I gotta tell you what it is. And I'm not supposed to tell you this.
It's right
He
here.
pulled a screw out the ground. One of them screws, you know, like you put in a gun and shoot it through the
Yeah.
steel.
Screws. Yeah.
It was that long and it was rusty. Had the little ball on it. You know, the same kind you punch bridges with.
Yeah.
Them type of screws.
Yeah.
And radiation.
And he took that screw, put it in a Ziploc baggie this big, zipped it, wrapped it up, walked it over to the safe, opened up the safe, put a thick safe and put it in there. And I said, what that's for? He said to secure it because it's highly contaminated.
He got a hazmat suit on?
He had the whole monkey suit on.
Okay.
I thought he was coming from the moon.
Mike, do you guys, you know a guy named John?
No, so you know, I gave you all, yeah.
You know John lived on Surgeon Street, right?
Yeah.
You remember John lived on Surgeon Street? Now, Stan, you're not gonna believe this.
What's up?
Now, Stan, you're not gonna believe what I'm getting ready to say. And neither you, Steve, and neither are you, Carol.
I am. I always believe you,
Okay,
Andre.
I want you to listen very closely. Me and Felita seen them bring John out of the body bag. Listen to me closely.
Oh, wow.
The next day, we seen John walking on Sturgeon Street.
What?
Living, listen to me very closely, you guys. living in Jamie's apartment, Jamie's apartment, the garage downstairs. He lived in what's his name? Irwin. He lived in his garage, and we seen him, and he was emaciated before he moved here. And the day we seen you, Steve, you see us walking up there. We walked up towards you with that guy. That guy looked 30 years old, a full head of hair, and had all this weight on him. He had a full head of hair. He had all his weight on him. You know what I'm talking about, John, don't you? You know he died in that house and his wife died. They brought his body down, a body bag.
Is powerful.
This radiation, you guys are not listening. People are getting them off the goddamn ground and walking.
Burnt my hand. I had to go.
I have a brother out there.
Sam.
It was just Sam. He lost both of his kidneys and his prostate gland. And I seen him with my brother out of the dialysis truck, and my brother looked like he was dead. He was cold black.
Radiation burn.
He's still staying up there right now?
Yes, but I believe my brother died and came back.
Cause now he walking.
That's a dead man walking.
Do
you
you
guys ever
understand?
see a night living dead? That shit's real, man. That's radiation.
I can witness this. Cause he stayed across the street from him. When I first noticed his brother, cause Andre Abrams said, yeah, he was sickly.
Yes.
I mean, one of them, I'm finna check out sicklies.
Yes.
A couple years later, this man walk around.
Yes.
Riding on bikes and
I don't know where it came from.
I don't know where it came from either.
I don't know if they got the found the youth in the gym
My
somewhere.
brother was definitely sick.
A certain point to where you get to, the houses was boarded up,
She got me on hold.
and you have to. They dug literally 10 feet down, and brought the bulldozers in and took all the dirt out and filled it back in.
That's right.
Where they took it, remember that?
Yeah,
I don't know where they
You
took
know
it.
what? Took it right there to the shipyard, and they put it up on Middle Point Road right now. This